Northeast has always been like a frontier. Untouched beauty, fascinating tribes, unique food, and such diverse cultures. So my rendezvous with the Northeast began with Meghalaya. In fact, initially, I was quite discouraged from choosing this time of the year, as the monsoons had already set in, and Meghalaya during monsoons, as we all know, is one of the wettest places on the earth. But I think for me, that became all the more a reason. Lush green hills and lesser crowd. Isn't that perfect? So a flight from Delhi to Guwahati followed by a shared cab to Shillong. लेकिन एक बड़ी interesting चीज़ हुई. I have this habit of putting my hands or face outside the car window. So I did the same when we left Guwahati. But Guwahati was quite humid, so I asked the driver to pull up the window and switch on the AC. After around an hour or so, the driver rolled down the window and asked me to put my face out. I was a bit confused, but you know what he said? Sir, अब हम मेघालय में हैं. अब देखिए हवा कैसे बदलती है. And that just set the tone for the entire trip. Or should I say that that's how I inhaled Meghalaya for the first time. I was fortunate to be introduced to Pine Air by my friend Priyanka. It's a bungalow converted into a B&B and an art cafe. Located in a quiet suburb of Shillong, the place has a golf course on one end and forest on the other, which means it's ideal for those morning walks. And talking about mornings, even after reading like dozens of blogs and watching multiple videos, one thing that no one seems to talk about is that Northeast में sun rises at 4 a.m. At 4 a.m. I'm not kidding. And this is how 4 in the morning looks like. तो बस हर रोज 4 बजे, the sunlight and the birds used to wake me up. And then this became a routine for the entire duration of my trip. Now over the years, Shillong has transformed from a picturesque hill station to a bustling urban hill town. So I just decided to leave aside the typical tourist spots like lakes, waterfalls and viewpoints and explore the city through a different lens. So our first stop, Don Bosco Museum. Frankly, I'm not much into museums and arts, but to get a feel of the sheer diversity of Northeast India, I think this place is a must, especially for those who always club the entire region into one basket, जिनके लिए आसाम और मणिपुर, मेघालय या अरुणाचल सब एक ही है. I think this could be the perfect way to orient yourself about this complex region. In fact, this is Asia's largest museum of this kind. And the cherry on top is actually on the rooftop. After enjoying the 7 floors of cultural heritage, it's time to gaze at Shillong's picturesque landscape through this skywalk. Apart from the panoramic view, it also helps in getting a sense of the city geographically. And from there itself, we identified our next stop, the loud and buzzing heart of the city called Bada Bazaar, or as the locals call it, Yeouido. A special thing about this market is that most of the shopkeepers are women. This can be attributed to Meghalaya's largely matrilineal culture. In fact, the youngest daughter inherits the family property, children take their mother's surname, and once married, the groom follows the bride to her home. Hail women power. ऐसा कहते हैं that everything on this planet is available in this market. बस ढूंढना आना चाहिए. But the first thing we found was this. Any idea? Try guessing. This is actually a body scrub, a loofah of sorts, made out of sponge gourd, but man, look at the size. Even though Police Bazaar is more popular, I think Bada Bazaar is truly where the fun begins. It's majorly a food market, so interesting sights and smells are guaranteed. So this is where the deadly stuff is found, and let me tell you, it's not for the faint-hearted. Not at all. In the middle of these sights and smells, bhook to lagni thi, and we found this family-run place just around the corner serving Khasi food. A quick trivia over here, Meghalaya's tribes can mainly be classified into 3 groups: Garos, Khasis and Jaintiyas, with Khasi being the largest ethnic group. So sir, what do we have over here? What's the spread?
Plain rice and
Okay.
mashed potato,
Mashed potato.
onion and dhania,
Okay,
mint leaf is on the dhania.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is chutney of mint leaf,
okay,
and this is dojam. Dojam means made out of pork.
Dojin.
Yeah, dojem we call it.
Okay. And that's made of pork.
Pork. This is masoor dal, add with the onion.
Oh.
This is plain preparation
Yeah.
without any masala. This also.
Yeah.
We add only ginger garlic paste, a little bit of sesame, and this pepper.
Perfect. So shall
Taste and see how it is.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, then. Welcome.
Time to dig in.
Yeah.
It was clear that Khasi cuisine is quite minimalistic. They barely use any spices except onion, ginger, sesame seeds paste, and maybe some mustard oil, which means simple yet flavorful. Totally works for me. So after getting a taste of the busy city center, I needed a break. And when I say break, I mean a bike, a scenic route, and some picturesque views. And when you are in Shillong, it's not a far-fetched task. Or so would you think. To beat the city traffic here is certainly a task. The city is similar to any other Indian city in most terms, but the freshness of the air is quite unique. Once out of the city, we were on our way to Lightlow. Imagine a view of a narrow valley surrounded by lush green hills and a stream running through it. And when we reached there, the view was nothing. Well, the canyon was enveloped in a fog. Yes, it did play a spoil sport as far as the view is concerned, but I didn't regret a bit being literally on top of the clouds. And finally, it was time to experience Shillong in a different light. As the sun sets, the city dresses up for a fun night. No conversation about nightlife in Shillong can be complete without talking about its music culture. Be it rock, jazz or blues, you name it and they have it. Music is an integral part of Shillong's social life. Every evening, the city wakes up to enthralling performances with good food and beverages flowing. And my evening was spent with the bluesmen of Meghalaya. In just 24 hours, Shillong had shown me its multiple facets. But kahani to abhi shuru hui hai. To tell you the truth, the real Meghalaya is still out there waiting for me. And the story has quite a few twists and turns left. If you like the journey so far, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. And in case you happen to know of any such inspiring stories or places, please let me know in the comment section. Until we meet, work, earn, travel, repeat.